Okay, so a bit of a change from North Counties East League football stadiums, grounds. I'm in London, we're at Arsenal Emirates Stadium, so we'll just have a little whiz around. Very warm, muggy day in London. And let's have a little 360 of the Emirates Stadium. So I think one of the biggest and most famous grounds, certainly in English football, and obviously a very modern stadium as well. A few people milling around here today, so we'll go this way and see what we can see. Very big, modern looking stadium, even though it's been up and about a few years now. Some statues which we'll look at. I think this is Thierry Henry. You can just see on the wall there a few sort of heroes from the past. Dennis Bergkamp, nearly. Obviously they're Charlie George from another era. A lot of building going on here. Not going to win a lot of prizes for architecture, a lot of these buildings either, I don't think. But that's London for you. So it's Thierry Henry sliding underneath. A nice little mural here. Famous goals, so Alan Sunderland, FA Cup, Charlie George FA Cup, Carno, Tony Adams, the famous league game. So obviously had some brilliant players here over the years. And obviously a lot of memorial and plaques here. You can kind of see the street below. So there's Thierry. Sort of arguably their best player, I would have said. Looking a bit cooler. As he was, you know, great sort of cool guy, and had that touch of confidence, I think, about him, and why not? I think to have built this in such a built up area as this obviously is a great feat of engineering, to say the least. You know, and it's sort of clever, they've got this sort of walkway around it just off the main road, keep people coming off the streets, etc. These apartments here, imagine you're going to hear the noise on the match day because you're literally next door to the stadium. Again, you've got names of various sort of players on the walls there, which I think is always a nice touch. Another statue over here, we'll go have a look at that one. I think there's sort of more statues here than there is at most grounds, to be honest. So Herbert Chapman, obviously famous manager from quite literally another world football was then. But really impressive stadium, you know, the glass frontage, it looks the business. You know, and the way they've sort of incorporated a bit of history on these murals and statues and things. I think Arsenal's always been a bit of a classy club in its own way, you know, a lot of tradition, a lot of history, and I would arguably say them and Man United and Liverpool, the three, you know, consistently big clubs, you know, probably for 100 years, I would think. We're sort of heading back to where we came in. So it gives you a bit of a fan's eye perspective of what it would be like on a match day. Obviously there'd be a lot of people milling around here and it'd be a lot busier and a lot noisier. But you know, this would be how the fans get into the ground and enjoy the day. So there's a bit of a map of the stadium there. A few kids milling around. So the North Bank there, obviously one of the famous areas for the supporters. Tony Adams statue up there, which we'll look at, and then there's another little statue up the top there. We'll go have a look at that. I'm just seeing a food bank drop off there, which tells its own story, sadly. You know, millions and millions of pounds in football, and you've got a food bank drop off point right next to it all. Okay, so Ken Fryer, who was a administrator here basically for a lot of years. That's him as a boy. So it's nice to see the people behind the scenes getting some recognition as well. And again, more murals, remembrance plaques and so on, which is nice. And then Tony Adams, the famous pose, I think he scored against Everton and never scored many, but you know, there you go. Great player for Arsenal, obviously. And so we're kind of heading back to where we came and back down those stairs. So there's Arsenal for you. Always like the logo as well, the gun, you know, the gunners, or the cannon I think it is, you might call it, but and the red and white, and it's all, you know, the red with the white sleeves as well. That's always been unique, rather than playing in stripes or you know, sort of a kit of just one colour. Very, very high as well. So we're coming back to where we started. Really, now you can see that Dennis Bergkamp started to shoot in the distance there. Obviously there's a signage for the Emirates there, who've obviously been a big sponsor here for a lot of years. So there's a few people milling about here, as you would expect at a big football club, even when there's no game. Obviously the Arsenal women have won the league, so there we go. A full 360 of Arsenal, and as we said, a little bit different to North Counties East League. Hope you enjoyed it.